It's been about a week since I've seen this save. I've been away over the weekend, so I recorded all my videos early last week. But as I'm familiarising myself with it again, and we've only got Bristol City in the Championship and Leicester in the FA Cup third round. No pressure, eh? Hey guys, and welcome to episode 17 of my Bristol Rovers FM20 playthrough. My name is James, and on today's episode, we've got Bristol City in a massive away match in the Championship, and we have got Leicester in the FA Cup third round. As I said in the intro, I'm going to be spending the majority of this episode trying to familiarise myself with this save, as I've not played it for a little while. But since you were last with me, we've played a run of games in the league. The last game, Sheffield United and Crystal Palace, I believe, was the last episode. We managed to bump the draw back-to-back draws with a 4-1 win away at QPR. We then did draw against Blackburn, but in that game, I think a draw was fair. We then had 3 wins on the trot, 3-1 against Wigan, 2-0 against Millwall, and then a massive 4-0 win against Sheffield Wednesday. However, we couldn't come into this episode completely positive, so we managed to lose 2-1 at home to Huddersfield. Such a frustrating match. We never really got going. They controlled the match from almost start to finish, and the goal we got really was, if you felt like a consolation, even though it was only on 62 minutes. We did get 1 or 2 chances near the end. We thought we might be able to nick it, but I think a loss was the correct result, even though it is really, really frustrating. Obviously, that doesn't give us great hope going into this episode, but hopefully we can pick up the form again. We've got Bristol City away in the Championship, which is obviously the away leg of the match we won earlier on in the season. We're going to skip over Doncaster. That was going to be the second match of today's episode, but with drawing Leicester in the FA Cup third round, I thought we'd have a bumper episode and have Bristol City and Leicester, and I'll play the Doncaster match offline in between. So here we are, part 2 of the Bristol Derby this season, this time at Ashton Gate. There was as much pressure as there was on us going into the first match. I think there's even more pressure now with us having won the home leg of this match, but hopefully we can shake off the loss in the last game and go back to winning form. So this is the team for today's match. Odebayo is out with an injury. I don't believe it's anything too major. He's actually returning to full fitness in a couple of days, so he will he should be back for the FA Cup match. But the team for today's game is Jacola in goal, Holmes, Dennis, Harries, Kilgore and Little make up the back 4, Agogo, Clark and Upson in midfield, with Barrett, Lumeka and Clark Harris up front. A team that is becoming oh so familiar week in, week out. We really are starting to develop a lot of consistency with the players that we managed to keep. Touch wood, so far we've managed to stave off any major injuries from any key players, and even when we have had some injuries, we've been able to bring in some decent replacements. I think, as we did for the home match, let's passionately say, let's give the fans something to cheer. Let's see if we can do a 6-pointer over Bristol City, which would be excellent in our first season in the Championship. So here we are, Bristol Derby Part 2, Bristol City versus Bristol Rovers at Ashton Gate. Let's hope we can get off to as much of a flying start as we did in the home leg. But here we are, 11 minutes on the clock. We have the first highlight. There's a coming together between Ellison and Lumeka. I'm not sure what happened here. I do hope it's not going to start how I think this is going to be. And what has he been sent off for? What is that? That's just thrown everything out the window, isn't it, really? What to do with that? It was 12 minutes on the clock. It's my own fault. I opened my mouth and said if we could get off to a good start, and we can't throw it. We could try and play it for a draw. Go on it, go up there. We could try and play it for a draw, but I think I'll drop. Let's drop Upson as defensive playmaker. Let's take off Agogo. Let's bring on Ginelli. So here we are, 5 minutes before half-time. City have a throw in our half. O'Dowda manages to go past our fullback into the penalty area. He's still going, still running. Passes to Stewart, back to Nagy. Then to Stewart, out wide, looking to switch the play to De Silva. He's bringing the ball forward again. He's in a little bit of space. Eliasson with the ball, takes a shot, hits the post. Thank God for that, because Jacola was nowhere, and Barrett manages to tackle and put the ball out for a throw-in. All right, we are lucky to go in, I think, at half-time 0-0. I'm not even sure how to play this one. I'd say let's go passionate. We're a man down. We can still get a result here. I really don't know if that's even possible, but I'll give them that and see where we go from here. Right, first highlight, second half. De Silva with the throw-in to Eliasson, to Stewart in the centre. Nagy playing it across central midfield, pushing back to defence. Looking to bring it forward again to Ward, to Palmer. Somebody put a tackle in. Palmer out to Dowda. He's bringing it in. No pressure again. He's just running around with the ball freely. Ward's managed to find some space out wide, but does bring it back into Nagy again. Back to Stewart. Back out to Ward again, who's in masses of space. Brings it into the centre. And Wells puts it past Jacola. Holmes Dennis there. He said at half-time, just before half-time, that he's made a few mistakes, and he was just pottering around there, not doing anything at all. Was that him there? Let's pause it. Yeah, Holmes Dennis there, not putting the pressure on him he should be. We didn't clear it well enough. Nobody moved second time round. Wells on the rebound and puts it in. It's now Bristol City 1, Bristol Rovers 0. I kind of expected it being down to 10 men, but that was a poor goal to concede. And there's a free kick there from Palmer, but Jacola makes a save, puts it behind for a corner. City looking to pile on the misery. Ellison with the corner, but Jacola manages to collect it quite calmly. Right, I think that's time to make another change. Dennis is coming off. He's had an awful game. We'll bring on Connolly. Barrett's not had much of a game either, so take him off and bring on Walker. See if either of those can make themselves a star. Let's ask for a little bit of passion on 60 minutes. But City have a corner again with Eliasson. Puts the ball into the centre. We managed to clear it, but only to Nagy. Back out to Palmer. Palmer takes a shot, but it trickles past Jacola's right-hand post. Upson rows with the corner into the centre. So Clark Harris at the back post, and Giannelli puts it in for an unlikely equaliser. Bristol City 1, Bristol Rovers 0 on 69 minutes. This was probably the best chances we would have had, was from a set piece. Brilliant free corner by Upson. Clark Harris brings it down. Giannelli, sniff of offside possibly there, but puts it in to bring us level. We have another Bristol City highlight. With the throw in, Palmer into the centre. Granzier with the ball there. It was in masses of space. Again, not being marked on that left-hand side. 82 minutes on the clock. Let's demand a little bit more. Let's really try and get the most we can. I know I shouldn't be demanding, but we'll take a 1-1 draw at this point. But if we can nick a win here. Harry's with the free kick to Walker. But he is tackled. And we don't manage to pick up the loose ball. Palmer managed to come away with it. To Granzier, who's coming down on that left-hand side. In the middle to Wells, who scored the first goal. But Jacola manages to get a hand to it. And Harries clears it away for a throw-in. City with the throw to De Silva. But Giannelli manages to make a tackle and clear it. And there we go, full-time. Bristol City 1, Bristol Rovers 0. Not quite as exciting as the home leg, but still just as action-packed. 1-1, I think, is the best we could have asked for in that game, especially with Limeka being sent off so early on in the game. He really did let us down, but I'm going to say, unlucky boys. It wasn't our day. Limeka really did put our backs against the wall with that. But that draw does keep us still in the playoffs with 3 points now ahead of Wigan. That is a great position to be in about halfway through the season because it really does provide us with a good launching pad for the second half. But next match takes us away from the Championship, and instead we have a tough tie against Leicester in the FA Cup third round. It is the 1st of January, and our two signings who we agreed contracts with earlier in the season have come in. So first is James Talbot, a 23-year-old Irish goalkeeper who, as I mentioned previously, brought in out of worry that Jacola was going to be leaving for the MLS. But as that hasn't really come to light at the moment, he's really come in as a decent backup. I'll definitely be reviewing the goalkeeping situation in the summer. We've got a number of goalkeepers now in the first team squad, and so at least one, possibly if not two of them, will probably be moving on. The other one is a 16-year-old Adam Smythe, who is an English attacking central midfielder. He comes in 1-star ability, 4.5-star potential ability, one for the future, being a 16-year-old. It's something I'd like to look at, especially next season, is maybe having an attacking midfielder type formation option, maybe having maybe a slightly more attacking option, especially if as and when we're starting to get a bit more comfortable, or when we're playing teams like when we've played Doncaster or Peterborough this season, who are at a similar level, if not slightly below us in terms of ability, and maybe trying to take the advantage of creating a little bit more up front. I don't expect to bring in a massive amount more over in January. However, the board have offered me more money. So if we go into here, we were on, I think it was £105,000. They asked if I'd like to change the expectations, which we've now changed to avoid relegation from attempts to avoid relegation. And they've added an extra 10 grand a week onto the wage budget. Not necessarily something I'm going to use, but it's nice to know that it is there. In terms of the Doncaster match that we've just played in between, very comfortable 4-0 win. Really did play well. We actually had a slightly rotated side for this game. Thought I'd rest a few players as they have played a number of games over the last couple of weeks. So we brought in Adebayi and Smith into central midfield, resting Clark and Upson. And then brought in George Thomas up front, resting Clark Harris. As you can see, George Thomas got player of the match and 2 goals. Matthews had a particular game. However, Adebayi, who played this was his debut match. What a way to endear yourself to the fans and highlight yourself as a future star. The ball comes out here. Long manages to collect the ball, wins the ball back again after it being tackled, brings it back to Ogogo, deflection, and Adebayi from just outside the penalty area smashes it into the top right hand corner. What a goal. And that was the first of 4 we saw in that game. Doncaster were never anywhere near it at all, and we ran out comfortable winners. So that hopefully puts us in a good position for this match. Obviously not expecting quite an easy fixture against Leicester. This is going to be definitely a difficult match. So I will run forward another day to match day. One other update to board takeover news. A couple of days ago in game had a notification coming up saying that the board takeover was on the rocks, and then I believe it was yesterday in game we had another notification saying that board takeover was close. It still says here that the owner status is in the process of a board takeover. It's been back and forth. It hasn't seemed to have affected. We're not currently in a transfer embargo as we were able to bring those 2 players in. So we'll see how it continues. And actually, before I leave this page, just thought I'd draw attention to the fact I have now made it onto the favoured personnel list. Only a season and a half in, and I've made it onto it, which is absolutely fantastic, along with Ed Upson and Rovers striker turned England international Ricky Lambert, who I can't click on, so presumably he retired and didn't become a member of staff. And we never know, if we carry on the way we're going, I could end up on the icon list before we know it. Not only a couple of hours later, and I think this has made the decision for me in terms of what were happening with the goalkeepers over the summer. Jordi van Stappershoff. I can't believe the fact he gets sold and then I managed to learn his name. Jordi van Stappershoff has gone to FC Volendam. Who are FC Volendam? They are in the Dutch league. And he has gone for £35,500. I said a little bit earlier that we're looking to review some of the players, some of the goalkeeping situation. This offer did actually come in. I snapped it up straight away. With the new guy coming in January as a backup, Jordi became less and less needed. And I thought at least give him the opportunity to go and play first team football. And I believe he has actually, he's actually gone home. So that'll be nice for him to be able to restart his career in his home country. So here we are, second match of today's episode. Leicester versus Bristol Rovers in the FA Cup third round. One thing I didn't actually realise was how bad a season Leicester are actually having. Let's have a look at their schedule. I mean, they've been a bit on and off, but in the last half a dozen games, and really against sides you expect them to be doing well against: Fulham, Preston, Southampton, Burnley. I can understand the Arsenal and Man City losses, but maybe we can take advantage of this, and with their distractions in the league, maybe add a scalp and get an unlikely victory in this match. The team for this match is a little more familiar than the team that played in the Doncaster game, but with a couple of changes. So we've got Jacola in goal, a back four of Holmes, Dennis, Long, Kilgore, and Odebayo comes back in after his injury for Mark Little. We've then got Agogo, Adebayi has come in for Ollie Clark in central midfield. He really did impress me when he played in the previous match. I know it was against Doncaster, but I felt in a match that if we do lose, it doesn't necessarily mean much. I'd like to bring him in and give him an opportunity to try and stake a place in the first team. And then Upson partnering him with Barrett, Giannelli and Clark Harris up front. I'm going to give Giannelli a couple of games because even though Lumeka is actually available for this match, he's actually been handed another 2 matches in the Championship for a suspension for his sending off, and so I thought I'm going to give him a couple of games at the squad. I don't know if it really affects the way they think about it, or whether he'll do it again in the future. But I thought I don't want to reward what he's done with a Premier League tie in the FA Cup third round. So Giannelli keeps his place in the side. So here we are at the King Power Stadium. Let's go out and carry on from where he did in the last match. Let's see if we can take advantage of Leicester's poor form, and as the players take to the field, we can hopefully get off to a positive start. Well, the last time I said that was in the City match, and we got the players sent off after 12 minutes. So I might keep that kind of stuff to myself. But we have a highlight here on 12 minutes, funnily enough. Leicester with the ball to Chilwell. All going back, all to Schmeichel. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that guy's name, but Ricardo brings the ball forward. Leicester looking to try and carve the first opportunity in the match. But Barrett manages to win the ball back, but he cannot keep it. So Leicester managed to win the ball again. Ricardo manages to go round him. Looks to take on Holmes Dennis. Ball into the centre, but Odebayo manages to clear it. Maddison back in to Tonali, who puts Leicester 1-0 up. 13.5 minutes on the clock. And I think here early in the match, any dreams we had of trying to upset this team are, I think, fading away very, very quickly. Here we have another highlight. Ricardo with the throw in to Vardy. Into the centre, looking for Tonali's second, but the ball is blocked to Bowen. To Tielemans. Back out to Chilwell. Who looks to get the cross in, but it is blocked by, I believe it's Odebayo, and goes out for a Leicester corner. Maddison with the corner into the centre, looking for Vardy, but the ball is cleared. Bowen is out there though to collect the ball, brings the ball into the penalty area. 1 tackle, 2 tackles, and Holmes Dennis finally manages to clear the ball out for a throw-in. Another throw-in highlight by Leicester. Ricardo with the ball. Vardy again, but Barrett manages to collect the ball this time, but only gets as far as Tielemans, who Ricardo collects the ball again, looks to try and get across him, but he can't. But they manage to do a 1-2 back to Ricardo. Ricardo in a bit more space into the centre, but Long manages to clear, and then a mixture of Upson and Gogo manage to get it out towards the halfway line, where Chilwell collects. The highlight does continue. It's a really, really long highlight, but Leicester looking to play out from defence again. Tielemans with the ball. They're just playing around us at the moment. We can't even get hold of the ball at this point. Ricardo to Bowen. Into Tielemans. Tielemans managed to get the ball back to Maddison. Maddison's header is fairly tame and does tickle wide of the post. It is just relentless Leicester highlights at the moment. But another throw in for Leicester to Tonali. Back out to Chilwell, who took the original throw in. Into the centre. Long manages to clear again. Barrett, can he make anything from it? He does the sensible thing and just clears it out for Leicester to collect again. Schmeichel looking to recycle the play, bring the ball forward. Big ball forward, looking for Vardy, but Vardy can't get to the ball. Tonali ends up with the ball again. Brings it forward, running at our defence. And he puts it forward to Maddison. Maddison in off the post. And that's Leicester 2, Rovers 0. And it has been all Leicester. I mean, I can't believe the fact that it is almost 50-50 on possession, with us slightly tipping it. They have had all the highlights in this first half an hour. Absolute domination. And they quite rightly go 2-0 up. But we have not even seen a sniff of their goal so far. But Holmes Dennis does have the throw in here. Barrett manages to collect the ball. Back out to Holmes Dennis. Looks to bring the ball forward. It crosses into the centre for Clark Harris. Schmeichel tips it over the top. And that has been our first and really only opportunity. But we do have a corner here with Upson into the centre, but it is cleared. Kilgore manages to come out, but Vardy chases him down. It's half-time, Leicester 2, Bristol Rovers 0. I can't say I'm surprised. What I am surprised about is the fact that if you look at the stats, we don't appear to have played that badly. Leicester have just been obviously much more clinical with their opportunities. I'm going to say I'm not happy. I don't want them going out thinking they can just sit back now that they're 2-0 down. But Holmes Dennis, with only 10 minutes gone, says the fact that he has a knock and wishes to come off. He's not got great conditioning, but frustratingly, we don't have anybody else we can bring on for him. He may have to play that one out, unfortunately. Hope we don't injure him too much. But Odebayo we can bring off, and we'll bring on Mark Little. Janelli has also not had a great game, and this is where I get punished for not having Limeka on the bench. But let's bring on Alabiosu, who comes on on that right-hand side. Right, I've asked show some passion. Let's see if we at least get a goal in this game. If we can get a goal back, you never know, we might be able to possibly nick a draw and take it back to our place. But Alabiosu with the first touch on the ball, out to Little, also just come on, ball into the centre, looking for Barrett. But Barrett couldn't get up there, and it bounces over the crossbar. Right, 80 minutes on the clock. Let's see if we make a final substitution. Barrett again hasn't had a great game. This is why as much as Leicester do deserve their lead, this is why we've not done much really today. Our front three have been fairly poor, but I'll bring on Zane Walker on that right hand side, really injecting some youth into this team. But we're just kind of almost up to 90 minutes. Rovers with a highlight. Jacola to Kilgore, big ball forward, looking for Clark Harris, but Leicester managed to win the ball back. Bowen looks to bring it forward. He's caused us numerous problems so far in this game, and looking to pile on the misery. Ball out wide to Ricardo, who's run that right hand side, not pressured at all, but he comes in the penalty area, ups and manages to clear the ball. To Alabiosu, who brings the ball forward. He's also in loads of space. Can he do anything with it? Looks to bring it into the penalty area. Tries to put it across to Clark Harris. Clark Harris's shot is blocked, and it looks like he was offside anyway, so it's a free kick to Leicester. There we go. Nothing more from that second half. Leicester 2, Bristol Rovers 0. Can't say we really expected a win against Leicester side, but with the team in such poor form and you know, maybe if we'd have got the first goal, it might have been a different match today. But I'll say I can't fault any of their performances. They did play quite well, but they did hold their own, especially against the Premier League side. But Leicester were just much more clinical in front of goal and took the opportunities as and when they came. Right, so when are we going to come back? Probably will then play a few more matches and maybe push on into February. Maybe somewhere around here we'll come back. And maybe have sort of 2, maybe 3 more episodes depending on how the season goes, especially if we are able to stay around the playoffs. Obviously that will extend the season a little bit more, so I don't want obviously to have too many episodes in the one season. Well, we didn't manage to get the win over City that we wanted, but we have managed to remain unbeaten against them this season, which is fantastic. But if you enjoyed that, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit the bell icon to be notified of brand new FM20 videos from me every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 5 PM. And thank you very much for watching.